What's going on, team? Welcome back. Today we are talking about progressive overload and why it matters. So this was actually a question asked last week whenever I put out a Q&A in our team Facebook group. So if you have a question about anything regarding nutrition, regarding health, regarding fitness, regarding just lifestyle changes, leave them in the comments below or send me a message in our team Facebook group because I make videos to help you. All right. So if you have a question, please reach out to me and I'll make a video about it, answering that very question and giving you practical tips on how to do it. All right. So progressive overload, why does it matter? Well, first of all, I want to explain what progressive overload actually is. All right. So have you ever felt like your workouts get easier over time? Right? So that's not a sign of, oh, well, I'm coasting. So, like, it's not actually doing anything. And actually, that's just your body telling you that it's time to level up. All right. And progressive overload is the idea of gradually increasing the challenge of your workouts so that your body continues to get stronger, get fitter, and become more capable. So when you first start strength training, pretty much anything and everything feels hard, right? You make progress quickly, but after a while, your body starts to adapt. And that's a good thing, right? Our bodies are meant to adapt. However, if you don't keep pushing that challenge just a little bit at a time, you're going to hit a plateau. And that's where your results are going to stall out. So this is where progressive overload comes in, right? So how does it work? Well, I want you to think of your body as a smart machine, right? Because it is, right? It doesn't want to waste energy building extra muscle or endurance unless it has to, because your body cares about surviving, not what it looks like. All right. And so, in order for you to continue to push the envelope, in order for you to gain a little bit more muscle or gain a little bit more endurance, your workouts have to change, because if your workouts never change, your body has no reason to grow or to get stronger. So, in order to keep making progress, you have to gently, right, nudge your limits. You have to toe the line every time you work out. So, how do you do this? Well, the easiest way is you add more weight, right? Even small increases by like 2.5 to 5 pounds forces your muscles to work harder. Adding more weight isn't the only option. So, for those of you who have bands at home and are working out at home or working out with body weight with just a couple of dumbbells or kettlebells, don't worry, not all is lost. All right. There are still more things that you can do. And number one is more sets and reps, right? So now you're increasing the volume, right? So more total work equals more stimulus for growth. So again, I want you to picture your muscle as a balloon, right? And the balloon has volume in it, right? And so if you only breathe like 2 breaths into the balloon, right? That's the total volume. Well, it's not going to do anything, right? So that's the volume that you do every single time. 2 breaths. 2 breaths. The volume doesn't change. So if you add in an extra set or you add in 5 more reps, that increases the volume. So now instead of 2 breaths into the muscle balloon, you're adding 3 breaths. So now you're increasing that volume, right? So, which will lead to more progressive overload. The second thing that you can do is you can slow it down, right? This is where tempo comes into play. And this is probably my favorite, right? Slower reps. So equals more time under tension, which helps build strength and control. So slow down your reps. How fast are you cranking out those 3 sets of 12, right? Slow it down. You can even do like, okay, let's do 1 second up and then slow, like a 3 count, 3 seconds down. Okay, one up, 3 seconds down. That way, like, you're changing the tempo, but you're also increasing the volume of time. That's essentially what tempo is, right? You're increasing that time under tension that your muscle is having to work. The next one is you can shorten your rest, right? Less rest means your heart and muscles have to recover faster. So instead of waiting 2 minutes in between sets, you could wait 90 seconds in between sets, or you could wait 45 seconds in between sets, right? So cutting that recovery time in half will make you have to recover faster. And then last one is change up the movements just a little bit, right? Try a variation that's a little bit harder. So instead of, just regular push-ups, or let's start with knee push-ups, right? So instead of knee push-ups, go to toe push-ups. And if toe push-ups become easy, then do incline push-ups, or I'm sorry, decline push-ups. So now your feet are elevated and you're having to work harder into a full push-up. So, there are progressions within each movement that can make that movement harder, right? So you don't have to change everything at once, and I do not recommend that. Just tweak one or thing at a time and track your progress. What I personally like to do, if weight is not available, and even if weight is available, my first go-to is to increase the sets or reps. Right, so I'll increase the set or I'll increase the reps depending on the lift and depending on the person, right? And again, depending on the time that you have. So that's the first thing that I change with my clients is I will either up the reps or sets. Next, I will slow down the movement. I will tell them, hey, like let's do a tempo. Let's do, 2 seconds up and 3 seconds down, no pause at the bottom. Or I'll do 1 second up, 3 seconds down, 2 seconds pause, and then repeat. Right. So again, if adding weight is not an option, and even if it is an option, that's not my first go-to when changing a progressive overload. I'll start with sets and reps, and then I'll start with tempo, and then I would go up in weight, and then I would change the movement. Oftentimes, like if I will not necessarily change the rest time. I think rest time is probably the last thing that should change. Again, everybody's circumstance is different, so I understand that, but that's what I do as a coach. Now, why is progressive overload important? Well, without progressive overload, you're just going through the motions, right? And when you consistently challenge yourself in small, smart ways, you unlock a whole list of benefits, which include stronger bones, better bone density, improved endurance, and more confidence, right? So stronger muscles, you're easier to backpack carries, hikes, and just in life in general. All right. Better bone density lowers the risk of injury as you age. Also, going back to stronger muscles, that keeps you more independent as you age. So, in improved endurance, more stamina for adventures and your everyday tasks, and also hello heart and lung health, right? Endurance is heart and lung health. And then greater confidence because you know that you are getting better. And who doesn't love that feeling, right? It feels pretty awesome to lift something that you couldn't a month ago. I know I am like, oh, did you just see that? Yeah, let's go. That's gram worthy. All right. That's an Instagram post. Okay, so how often should you increase the challenge? Well, again, that depends, right? That depends on your training plan and that depends on how your body is responding. But a good rule of thumb for beginners is try to increase the difficulty around like every 1 to 2 weeks. This could mean adding like 2 or 3 more reps or adding one more set, adding a little bit more weight, or even slowing down the movement, right? Small, consistent progress adds up really fast. So the bottom line is if it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you. But that challenge doesn't have to be huge or scary. It doesn't have to be a big jump. It could just be a little step, right? Just a little bit more than last time. Stay consistent, stay curious, and trust that your body is capable of amazing things, especially when you keep showing up and pushing your edge, right? towing the line every single time. So I hope this video helped you just understand progressive overload a little bit more. If you're not a member of Team Spear, join our team. It's completely free, where I dive deeper into health, into fitness, into nutrition, give you recipes, everything, plus you get a community. And if you don't have a Facebook, that's okay. Hit subscribe, hit that like button, and leave a comment. I hope this video helped you so you could live your adventure.